So Julia Child has no shortage of apple desserts. So when it's apple season, it's go time.
Oh! Bon appetit.
So welcome to Jamie and Julia. All you lovely people, welcome to my home and welcome Mastering the Art of French Cooking from Julia Child. It's the first one. And at the time of filming this, it is still apple season. And this time last year, I made this apple charlotte dessert. Tried to, at least. This thing is collapsing in on itself. This year, we're just turning the page. Pommes Normande en Belle. Normandy apples in beautiful view. Applesauce caramel mold. This is a much lighter dessert than the apple charlotte and also much easier to prepare. Enough. Yeah, I'm straight to the point, right? So let's just get to it. Stop. How many more do you have? All right, I gotta make some caramel to start this off. A small saucepan, I'm gonna add in 1/2 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of water. Bring that to a boil. Gotta keep it swirling until it caramelizes. You know what I'm looking for. Beautiful caramel brown. Look at that, that's beautiful. Now, we haven't seen this in a while. My charlotte mold. Now this is, I believe, a 6-cup charlotte mold. I checked it once in my life, I can't remember anymore, but yeah, it's 6 cups. I use it all the time. It's just a fantastic little contraption, isn't it? A vessel. Now, I got my beautiful looking caramel here, or back when I was growing up, I used to call it caramel. Caramel. Like in Canada, in some parts of Canada, you can say either. No one cares. Caramel, caramel. I still don't care. I'm gonna say however I want. Back then, there was no comment section to tell you were saying it wrong. What I'm doing is completely lining the charlotte mold with caramel, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, while I was talking to you about that topic, the caramel seized. So I'm just gonna heat it back up. Just move it around with the spatula. I didn't realize what I was doing and I burnt it, so I gotta redo it. Stupid Canuck. No talking, just focus. No talking, focus. Ah, you son of a gun. I'm gonna have to heat this back up again, but keep your freaking eye on it. What it says to do is just to flip this over on a plate like that, and now we have a caramelized mold. We're done. Just getting started, but no, we're done that part. I hope everyone's okay. Because I took so gosh darn long booming with that mold, straight to business with these apples. I'm gonna need a total of 4 pounds of crisp cooking apples. As always, I'm going with the granny. First, we gotta peel them. Stickers on apples, I'll never understand. Core the apples. And then I'm gonna slice them into roughly 1/8 inch slices. Oh dear, that's a big bruise. All right, I'm gonna get some lemon juice up on this first batch here so that they don't brown. Let's keep peeling, let's keep coring, let's keep slicing. For something like, you know, like something like that. So the apples go into my Dutch oven and get those on a very low heat. Stirring them occasionally, and for the next 20 minutes, keep the lid on until they're tender. She told me to keep the heat on a very low, but I kind of turned it up to low. I thought that was the best course of action, because look how tender this is. And it's already starting to turn into applesauce. It looks marvelous. So in with the apples, let's get in 1/2 cup of sugar. A quarter teaspoon of cinnamon. So I'm gonna grate up the zest of a lemon, hello. And to save time, I'm just gonna do it right here. I don't want any of that white pith, just the yellow part. All right, I'm gonna crank the heat and boil this for 5 minutes. And you know what, I'm gonna help it out. I'm gonna break up some of the bigger apple pieces here. This needs to resemble a thick puree and hold its shape in a spoon. I'd say so, yeah. I mean, Julia's not saying to twirl the spoon. Okay, hot pot. Rum, cognac, or apple brandy. Well, what do we got? What do we got? We got cognac. And I'm gonna use a quarter cup worth. Stir it in, yeah. I need butter. 4 tablespoons of butter. That's the Julia I know. 2, 3, 4. Stir it in. Gonna let that melt and kind of cool off a bit because I need to add in 4 eggs and 1 egg white. Start with the eggs 1 by 1. You do not want that to cook faster. 4 eggs, right? Yeah, interesting. Okay, let's get another one in there. I want to know how Julia figured out that the perfect combination of eggs is 4 and 1 egg white. Like, how did you figure that out? All right, this next one, egg white, hold the yolk. Don't need the yolk. And let's bring over the caramel charlotte mold. What the hell? What the hell? It's kind of cracked a little bit. Interesting. And this is not what I asked for. Apple mixture into the caramel lined charlotte mold. Okay, so we got the applesauce, right? And I'm very familiar with that, but like adding eggs and that many eggs into this thing has intrigued me. I don't know where it's going, but I'm excited to find out. So I'm gonna have to clean this out. Set this into a saucepan or kettle that's gonna be deep enough to hold it completely, and then get the lid on that. Pour boiling water around the outside of the mold to come up to the apple mixture. The apple mixture goes all the way. Yeah, I'm gonna need more boiling water. I hope it doesn't cook the eggs while I'm doing this. Level to the apple mixture. Okay, that will work. A very large bain-marie. Is that what we call it? Yeah, I think so. Okay, but you gotta be careful when moving this from here to here, because if any water gets into this, well, it's game over. Oven has been preheated to 400 degrees F, and this is gonna go into the lower third of it. Careful, you little bugger. Regulate oven heat to maintain water almost at the simmer. The dessert is done in 1 hour to 1.5 hours when it begins to shrink from the sides of the mold and the top. All except for a small area in the very center will be set. It has nearly been 1.5 hours in the oven. Okay. So it's still, oh, okay. Starting to shrink along the sides of the mold. And this all appears to be set, or it will be once it cools. It says it's supposed to shrink on the top. If anything, it has ballooned. And then everywhere except for a small area in the center should be set. Cool. How the hell am I gonna get this thing out of this? Okay. Thank you, Dutch oven. 2 options here. If I'm gonna serve it warm, I can enjoy it in the next 20 minutes. If I'm gonna serve it cold, let it chill for 4 to 5 hours. I think that's what I'm gonna do. If I unmold this thing, it just goes. If I chill it, better chance of survival. And if I want to heat up a piece after it's been chilled, then well, I can do that too. So let's get the lid back on and we let it chill. Well, I'm not just gonna stand here, so I'll see you in 4 to 5. That's hours, not minutes. Boomy. Thank you. What we're gonna start with before we take that thing out of the fridge is I gotta make some whipped cream. So I'm gonna take around half a cup worth. So beat it, just beat it. Now that you've whipped up the cream, you're gonna add just a touch of powdered sugar and a splash of cognac. Oh, that's nice. Eject. After 5 hours or so of this thing chilling in the fridge, that's interesting. Before I put this into the fridge, the top was up here. Look how much that's shrunk. So I'm gonna run a knife around the edge of the mold. Then we're gonna do the old, I don't know what's gonna happen. She says in a few minutes it's gonna dislodge itself, but I feel like it already has. Whenever I have to unmold one of these things, it always freaks me out. But my entire day has led me to this point. 1, 2, 3. Whoa. That's not good. Oh my God, all these metal shards. As successful as this is, I don't know if I can eat it. This old Charlotte mold, parts of the metal in here has come off into the dessert. I don't know if you can see this piece here, this piece here, this piece. It looks like shrapnel in here. It's just like little metal shards, little pieces of metal all over this dessert. Yeah. Okay, so since this thing is ruined, I have to abandon the next step, which is simmer rum or brandy in the mold to dissolve any remaining caramel, then strain it over the dessert. A no-go. That is a no-go, officially. That stinks, but I think there's enough for me to have a slice safely. We're gonna figure it out. Order up! So I think just to be on the safe side here, I'm just gonna slice off the metal exterior, if you don't mind. I'll be honest, this whole thing has just taken the wind out of my sails, but I'm just trying to keep going. Hopefully there is no more metal to be found in there. I think we're in the clear. Oh, that is good. That is good. It's really good. Damn you, Charlotte mold. I'm trying not to let the metal shards bother me too much. I don't want the only thing that I remember about this dessert to be that we lost a good friend today. Shh. I'm taking caution with each enjoyable bite. I do really want to try some of that caramelized outside. Alas, I cannot. Okay, one last bite and then we're gonna call it. You know, honestly, really bummed about the whole thing because when I unmolded that thing, it looked beautiful. But I've obviously just manhandled this vintage Charlotte mold a bit too much. I mean, the combination of vintage and me doesn't really go well. The caramel fiasco obviously just ended this thing, so we had some great times. Sad day, but also the dessert was fantastic. The applesauce was stellar. Tart, a little bit of sour, sweet, and it goes so well with the caramel. And on the inside, it was nice and like soft, mushy kind of thing going on. And this whipped cream that I just whipped up was also stellar. Happier times when I made this though. Happier times. That's it. That's all. This was Jamie and Julia. Bon appetit. Au revoir.